The wide positions at Elland Road could see some folks continue to leave Leeds United. So we know that Crysencio Summerville might be on the way out. We know Willie Gnonto might be on the way out, which means that we need to find replacements. And in my opinion, the loan market is absolutely perfect for that. Not only are you sort of provided access to players that you otherwise wouldn't get that have huge potential, but that can lead to links for the foreseeable future if you sign them in the long term. And genuinely, I feel that Leeds United have found a gem with a hell of a lot of potential in the player that they're currently chasing down. With the Whites set to approach Rak-Sakyi at Crystal Palace to try and sign him on loan for the coming season. So in this video, I'm going to talk about who he is. I'm going to talk about the other sides that are interested and maybe why Leeds United have a little bit of a unique advantage when we're trying to sign him this season, where exactly he will fit into the side, and yeah, basically, is he going to be a good signing for Leeds United? Should we pursue this? And we have to start off with talking about exactly who he is, because I know full well that Jezorun Rak-Sakyi is someone that you may not have been able to be aware of until now, because there's a hell of a lot of wingers in the Premier League that you're just like, oh, you just came through an academy and you're good. Okay, this is one of those cases. He is a 21-year-old winger who is currently at Crystal Palace, and in terms of playing style, he plays primarily off the right whilst being left-footed. So think the way that Somerville plays out over on the left, he does a similar thing on the right-hand side, cutting inside, having a go at defenders and really making things a bit difficult for them. But he also does that getting to the byline, putting in across stuff really effectively. Last season at Palace, he only got 136 minutes, and in that time, he managed to get 5 shots, which is genuinely not too bad, considering he was throw someone on, give them a little bit of experience sort of substitution. When it comes to playing style and physicality, you might be a little bit worried because Leeds' physicality in the wing areas has never been too strong, but genuinely he's got a little bit more than you'd think by looking at him. He's very effective when it comes to winning the ball back, and he's not afraid of physical battles. I've had a look at a few of his clips, highlight reels, gameplay stuff in the last few minutes, and the amount of times where you might think, oh, he's lost that ball, he's not winning that tackle, he's going to slowly track back as the other team play their way up the pitch. No, he is happy to power his way back, make a challenge, win the ball back, and then go. And that is something that we absolutely need in a winger, especially considering we didn't really get that from Gnonto last season. He tore up League One in the 22-23 season with Charlton, got 15 goals, got 8 assists, but since his development has stalled a little bit because Crystal Palace for some reason didn't loan him out last year, and they're looking to fix that this season. And there are plenty of sides interested too. Ipswich, currently in the Premier League, were interested but ended up going elsewhere. They signed Amari Hutchinson permanently. Southampton have made 2 bids and they have both been rejected. And there is also some interest from half of the Championship, but you might think that for a player that is very clearly very solid and has a fairly high ceiling, obviously if Southampton, who got promoted, are having bids rejected, then what sort of chance does the Championship have? And this is where I think Leeds United have a bit of a unique advantage, where all of our little situations and bits and bobs come together to give us a very good chance here. Firstly, because Crystal Palace are refusing to loan him to a Premier League side. Makes sense on their part. They do not want to send him out to someone that is going to strengthen a rival, so give him to not Sheffield United. Yes, Sheffield United. Southampton, not Sheffield United. Sorry, headache. So if they were to loan him out to Southampton, he would be at a direct rival, getting minutes, getting them points on the board, and ultimately trying to push them to remain in the Premier League. This is what they want to avoid, but they also recognise that he needs minutes. So you can't give him to someone at the bottom of the Premier League because he might actively win them points, and if Crystal Palace go down at the end of that season, then they're going to go, well, why did we do that? And they can't go too high in the Premier League because at that point he's not going to get minutes. And I think we fill both of those criteria really, really well. And there's a few other little added benefits of coming to Leeds that I had a quick look at, and I thought, you know what, that all sort of adds up. First up is we have evidence of developing young talent very recently. A lot of people say, well, we're not good enough at playing young players. We had one of the youngest squads in the Championship last season. I'm going to have a very quick look at some stats. 1 second. Before last season, Archie Gray hadn't played a single minute. And then, thanks to the development that happened at Leeds United, he was then worth £40 million, the 4th most expensive 18-year-old of all time, and very, very, very clearly an outstanding footballer. Have another look at, in this specific case, we'll look at Crysencio Summerville. who up until last season had scored in senior football a grand total of 12 goals. One season of championship football, scored 19 times, 9 assists, championship player of the season at the age of 21, exactly the same age as our good friend, Mr. Rak-Sakyi. So very clearly there is evidence of developing this young talent because Summerville developed at Leeds, without a doubt. So we can get potential out of these players, and in addition to that, we can afford any financial demands that they've got. When it comes to loans, it tends to be, okay, can you cover their wages, maybe a loan fee, which is not that much for us, considering all things in the fact that we have sold a few players this summer. Compare that to other sides that are floating around in the championship, and financially we're looking good. Add on to that the fact that Farker will bring continuity. He's got a very solid tactical way of doing things, and he does it fairly consistently. So Rak-Sakyi is not only going to be learning how to improve as a footballer, he's going to be learning the tactical side of things. And I'll be honest, I can see Farker staying for an extended period of time this season, and genuinely, I think we are in a very, very, very good spot for securing this signing. And he fits into the squad as well. He offers a little something different to James down the right-hand side. James likes to get to the byline, cross the ball in, hope someone's in the box. Don't tend to be if Joel Pirro's on the pitch, but it's fine. Rak-Sakyi is a little bit different. Cuts inside, tries to cause some problems from there, will have a shot, and scored plenty of them in his time at Charlton. In addition to that, in his time over there, he had some experience out on the left where he offers more of a byline option because he's going to be on his stronger foot. He can get all the way to the byline, whipping across, and cause a threat that way. He's also very happy to work defensively as well as going forward. So, looking at his heat map, he tracks back a lot of the time. And he also has a little bit of a tendency to drift inside, bringing more creativity to our central areas. As I said, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, the idea of the loose 10 is something that we might be exploring this season, where similar to Rutte, you've got someone who is nominally a number 10, but is happy to float from wing to wing, back to front, and find the space where they need to score the goals. I think if you're having 3 number 10s, one more responsible for the right-hand side, Rak-Sakyi could be spectacular for this. So at the end of the day, the real question is, should Leeds United sign him? And I genuinely think he would be a fantastic Crysencio Summerville replacement. I don't know if he get the same numbers, because Summerville had an obscene season last year. But I think he's distinctly undervalued, thanks to the fact that he didn't go out on loan last season, which means that it's going to be a little bit easier to get him. Add on to that the fact he's got 3 years left on his contract. He might be looking at something more permanent next season, especially if he has a good year at Leeds United. It all adds up. And I think signing Rak-Sakyi would be a huge coup for us and would ultimately put us in a fantastic position to push forwards towards promotion. But, as I always say, that's what I think. I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comments down below what you think is going to happen with the Rak-Sakyi thing. Is it a good signing, a bad signing? Would you go for it? Like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe, even become a channel member. It's 99p, and that whole 99p goes to Prostate Cancer UK. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you later. I just want some movement. Let's get some players in. Let's do this. Let's get promoted. Ta-ra.